We're going to cook a really simple mussel dish. Mussels are one of my favourite seafoods to eat. They're really cheap, they're readily available, quite sustainable, and it's just simply delicious. So we're going to cook them with some vegetables, and the base of the dish is going to be a fish bone broth. So that's really simple. We've got some leftover bones from a barbecued fish, thrown it into a pot, a few vegetables, simmered it for about an hour or so, and that's going to create a lovely base flavour, as well as adding a heap more vitamins and nutrients to the dish. And it's really nice to be using the whole of an animal rather than wasting it. So it's really important that with a mussel, it's a really quick cook. If they cook for too long, they're going to go really rubbery and chewy. So it's important to have a really nice hot pan before you start cooking. So we've had this on high for a while. Just going to add a small splash of oil. And then we've got the mussels that we've just de-bearded, which is simple, just the little furry bit from the side, just pinch it, pull it out. We're going to throw them into the pan. We're going to put the lid straight on. So you can hear the mussels really bubbling away in there. By putting the lid back on, we're creating a bit of an oven. So instead of just bottom heat, we're going to get top heat, and it's going to heat the mussels the whole way around. We're going to give them about sort of 45 seconds to a minute. So from there, take the lid off, steaming away nicely, add a splash of wine. We've got some tomatoes, some red capsicums, and some fennel that we've just diced up kind of nice and rustic. We don't want to cook the vegetables too much. I want them to retain a bit of texture, really become a part of the dish and be as big a feature as the mussels. Got a little bit of garlic here that we've just peeled and sliced. Just give them a bit of a stir in. So these mussels have already started to pop open because it was so hot to start with, so they don't need much more cooking from here. We've got our fish broth that's been on the heat, so it's nice and hot. If we add cold broth, it's just going to slow down the cooking of the whole dish because it has to heat up. So taking it from a warm pan is best. We're probably looking at about half a litre of broth in here. Put the lid back on, give it about maybe 2 more minutes, and then the mussels will be ready to go. So it's been about 2 minutes. I can hear the juices bubbling away. It's kind of rumbling in there. Everything's cooking. The flavours are developing, coming together. Turn off the heat. Take it off the stove. You can smell the tomatoes, the fennel, the wine, the mussels all come together really nicely. So the vegetables have retained their shape. We haven't cooked the life out of them. They're just kind of gone a little bit tender but not raw. Mix that through. Bunch of chopped flat leaf parsley straight on the top. And there's a great dish to serve in the middle of the table with some crusty bread. You could serve it with some pasta if you liked, but I think it makes it a great part of a shared meal. Eat the mussels, get a bit of bread, mop up all that beautiful broth and liquid. Good to go.